Listen guys, I heard you loud and clear on that last video, okay? Listen, now, part of doing car stuff is sometimes you have to do the stuff that's boring. So, with the dart, of course we had to take the interior out. We had to see what was wrong with it. You know, see if we got a really good deal. Well, the Rust-Oleum that I recently bought so I can do that floor says otherwise. What's up guys, Kai with TK Speed Shop, and today we're changing gears because you guys wasn't feeling it right then and there on that dart. Don't worry, it'll be back probably next video. But we got some parts for the 77 budget turbo Trans Am build. I did tell you guys that we're gonna do it naturally aspirated at first, right? Just to get it moving under its own power. Yeah. Anyway, today we are just parts installing. We're kind of going backwards. So this 4th gen little cover I got. Well, I don't know if you know this or not, but I'm kind of a perfectionist. And I kind of don't like when stuff don't vibe. So, this motor Chevy orange. That's pretty neat. What color is this? Yeah. I don't know what I was thinking when I did this. Anywho, we ordered one from Speedway. Now, Speedway sells a black cover for this that, let's start from the beginning, guys. You know how some of these 4th gen covers you see, they don't have like the little boss already drilled out for the oil pressure, and a lot of people don't feel confident about drilling that small little hole for all that. Well, Speedway sells one relatively cheap. I got mine for like 89 bucks. Took 2 days. Actually, it took 3 days, but you know, weekend. Yeah, we're gonna install that. We're gonna do some other little bits and pieces. Now, to give you guys an update or a recap, this is our budget build file 3 that we're doing. It's a Gen 4 block. We did the little pins in there for the DOD delete. That's pretty cool. Love it. It has the timing cover with the bongs on it already installed for the oil drain back. And we have another bong down here that's coming up off the oil block off plate. We're going to use that for the turbo feed. But we're miles away. We kind of pretty much over prepped this, or we prepped it for the future of having boost. I hope I'm Englishing correctly. But such is life. Don't want to waste my Mountain Dew. Let's pull out this bad looking one right here, guys. Look at this thing. That doesn't belong. Look at this. Look at that. Oh man, got the little Speedway logo embossed right there. And the most important part, yeah, it's there. So I'm about to transfer these little O-rings out of here. Let me set you guys up real quick. It even came with some bolts and hardware. Let me set you up. Alright, so we done stripped the little O-ring gaskets. Now it did not come with those, but you know, we win some, we lose some. Such is life. I'm gonna put these on like they're rings. Am I gonna have to put any kind of sealing on this? Nope, they don't fall out. That's all I needed to know. Alright, we're on. That was very nerve-wracking. The last thing you want to do is drop one of those O-rings down in there. I'm just going to hand start them all for now. That way we know that they thread in real nice and deep like. Guys, I think I got it figured out on what color I want to paint the dart. Some of you might be disappointed, some of you might be happy. But, man. We also got some stuff that I've scored off the Facebook Marketplace. Marketplace is literally your best friend. I literally find awesome deals. I almost dropped that down the intake. Oh, no, I didn't. I put paper towels down there. I find deals off the Marketplace 24/7, guys. Literally 24/7. I shop the Marketplace 24/7. So, alright, now that we got all those run down, there's no technical torque sequence to this. You just start from the middle and work your way out like you would do a lot of stuff. Now, I'm pretty sure the last thing you want to do is strip out these hex bolts. So the way I do it is I put my hand up top instead of on the handle part, and I get a nice feel for it from there. If I can't like break the torque from there, that's probably about as tight as it needs to go. These bolts aren't very big, guys. I don't know what that is. There's an O-ring in here. We're gonna assume that O-ring goes on the base. Yep. That O-ring's probably gonna keep the oil where it needs to be. What I will do, just to feel good, is I'm gonna put a dab of grease to keep that in there. See, just a dab of grease will do. That keeps that O-ring where it needs to be. And we're just gonna make that hand tight. We're not gonna crank it down or anything like that. It's O-ring sealed. If we have an oil leak, it's easy identifiable. There we go. Man, I can't English. All right. With that taken care of, we need to transfer. So we're gonna be running the stock gauges in this, and I got one of them pieces that swap to the old style. You know what I'm talking about. It basically swaps so you can use your factory gauges. They got them for the water pumps. Well, the water temp senders for like the gauges and stuff. Anyway, I got one of those in this, and I'm basically just gonna transfer this over to that. Pretty simple, right? Yeah, I hope so. Guys, I realize that I suck at explaining stuff. I really try to do my best. And I'm not saying that to gaslight you. I really do mean that. We got some thread sealant tape on that. We're just gonna reuse that. How about that? Yeah. That'll do. That'll do. And we're just gonna go ahead and get that little snuggy snug. Okay. Alright. As soon as I felt a little resistance, that's when I had to stop. Because be my luck, I break it clean off. But yeah. Alright. Now what do we do? Oh. I know what we do. It's time for an Amazon parts review. As you guys know, I'm basically building this car dirt cheap on the budget. Because originally, we wanted to put a 400 in this with the correct 4-speed and, you know, all that jazz. We wanted to do that. Well, because of that, this project got postponed for almost a decade. So now, we want to see, can we get this running and driving dirt cheap? Now, if you guys have not noticed, it has different set of coils on it, like a different setup. This is a LSA, LS9 valve cover setup. Bought them off Amazon, $160. They work great. They mount these coils that has the up and down coils on it. Pretty cool. I don't like it's not symmetrical. Like these two back here, and then on the other side it's the front two. That drives me up the wall, but For 160 bucks, nice valve covers that are stock, and I didn't have to pay, I don't know, I spent $330 on the BTR ones that I have on the Monte Carlo. Anyway, because we swapped to these, we no longer have the wiring harness for the coil packs. Now, this is where the Amazon part comes in. I paid $28.89 for these extensions, all right? They're compatible with the LQ9, LQ4, so on, whatever. They're compatible with these types of coil packs. Now, again, 28 bucks. Of course, I'm gonna go to the comments and I'm gonna look and see what kind of problems people been having. Nice product that works very well. Perfect fit. What good? But the one that caught my attention, I'm not gonna say this guy's name, but I'm gonna read you his comment. This product was made very well and great quality at a great price. I ordered it in anticipation of a tune-up on my 05 GMC Sierra with a 4.8 liter. He spelled that liter. That's how you know he's serious. Before installation, I wrapped them in all heat-resistant loom tape as I was connecting them to indicate which coil to which connector. I looked at the factory one, tried to match the color code, not the same colors on the wire, nor is it molded to authenticate the locations. So I am unable to use this item because I don't know which connector it goes to. All right, now, let's talk about it. These are those $28 connectors, okay? They're literally identical. If you look at these wires, there's something different about them. There's a color that stands out on these wires. So you got yellow green, yellow purple, yellow red, yellow blue. Remember, it starts with yellow. So essentially you have a green wire, a purple wire, a red wire, and a blue wire. All right? This came boxed with no instructions, just this in the box, okay? Now, let's go back up to this product real quick. All right? Boom, installation guide. The blue colored wire is for cylinders 3 and 6. The purple one is for 1 and 8. The green one is for 4 or 5. And the red one is for 2 or 7. Need I say more? And you best believe when we get all this wrapped up back to the firing stage, if we fire it and it fires off perfectly fine, I will let you know that these worked, because these are going to reposition these coil connectors to the back side here. That means I can tuck them and hide them and keep them out of view. If you happen to buy these or have used these Amazon brand ones, if they work for you, drop it down in the comment section down below. I've never used them. I typically just use the stock wiring. That's kind of what we do on a dirty cheap LS build. Stock valve covers and all that stuff, everything's still there. You just run what you got. But this looks nice. This makes me feel nice. So guess what? I'm gonna run them. Let's talk about my Facebook find. You guys remember the single plane Amazon intake that I scored for 100 bucks? Let's talk about the Facebook Marketplace. I scored this 750 double pumper mechanical secondary demon carburetor. No choke horn, no nothing. Ready to go. I paid $250 for that. Guys, there's deals out there. You can find them. You just got to look for them. Always stay looking for deals, especially when you're building hot rod type stuff. Because, guys, this stuff's expensive. That carburetor brand new is probably like $700-800. I mean, a lot of brand new good carburetors for like now to race applications are like $700, $800, $900. Don't even get me started about the blow through stuff that we're gonna have to deal with, and we'll be able to modify that one for blow through, okay? So that carburetor's here to stay. It was perfect. It's exactly what we needed. So I'm about to transplant that big thing right there. Walking around with this big old noggin. God dang. Big birthday. I'm a Bush Light man myself. Make sure my O-rings are still in it, and they are. Yeah, you big burly girl. All right. Up. About sabotage myself, gang. That wouldn't have been good. You guys watch anime? Put it down in the comment section down below. I am a very, very avid anime watcher. So if you watch anime, comment down below what you've been watching. I literally watch it every day. Oh, I was watching one of my YouTubers the other day that I watch, and he made a very true statement. As you start to do content yourself, you have less time to watch other content creators. I understand what he meant now, because I don't have nowhere near the same amount of time as I used to once I started getting more involved with all of this. But let me get up out of here. We're gonna run these bolts down. We're gonna move on to something else that drives me up the wall with LS stuff. Yeah, I'm on your head, boy. So, guys, let's clear up a big misconception, okay? Now I want you to we eye contacting, okay? I got some spark plug wires. Yeah. So, first and foremost, quit going to Parts House. I'm sorry, part houses. Quit going to part houses buying spark plug wires, okay? This is an OEM replacement of ACDelco Sparkplug wires, okay? I paid $39 for these online. Now I want you to go to your parts house and I want you to look up that code right there. See it? 3, 2, 1. 888-623-85. Go look that up, okay? It's not gonna be $39. Also, you do not need to buy MSD wires for a mild application, okay? Someone will go and they'll have like a stock 4.8 or 5.3 or whatever, and ever since I put them MSD wires on there, guys, stop it, please stop. That's not doing jack squat, okay? Quit it. Quit doing that. It's not required, okay? People literally snatch these out of boneyards and throw a big turbo on them. And you know what they're doing? They're running the stock wires. Stop spending all that money. Stop it. $39 spark plug wires. I was able to buy these for $39. And buy these off Amazon, these little shields, for like 12, 13 bucks. And I still came out cheaper than going to the parts house, buying this, and buying these that they have at the part house. I'm done ranting, I'm sorry. I gotta be truthful for a minute. These don't fit. They don't fit. It's all good. We can use them for something else. I just had to be real with you guys for a minute. But you know what do fit? Those $39 spark plug wires like they should. Listen to the sound of that click. Listen to that click. You can probably pick it up on camera. Yeah. 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 Ha. All right. Marketplace item number 2. Okay. Now, on the record, I 100% recommend you do this if you already have the fenders off and everything. I've done this before with the fenders on, with the motor in and stuff on these cars particularly. And it is probably some of the most pain in the ass I've dealt with. On the marketplace, I scored a brake booster setup for this car. Still in the box. Still got the sticker on it. I got this and this. $100. Yeah. That gets my blood pumping. When I say get on this goddamn firewall, I mean get on it. I figured you probably thought I was talking noise, so I wanted to go ahead and give you a close-up. You see how I have inserted myself in where the fender would be at? Now, see how I'm able to reach this with relative ease? Yeah. If you're doing anything like this, guys, or if you already got, let's just say you got a project car and you're blowing it apart and you're thinking about, you know, brakes and stuff, how about you just go ahead and get that booster on there, you know, save yourself the trouble of having to fight for your life later on, because landing over an engine bay, trying to make sure that these bolts, especially this little back corner little bastard back here, don't make for a fun time. All right, go ahead and thread these little puppers off. Nice. Ha ha. Yeah, buddy. Good now. How many of these washer spacers I got? Nah, I was gonna put a washer on that. I don't think it's required. Perfect. We're probably gonna wait to attach the actual brake pedal to the whole shebang, because I have to go get a throttle cable for this as well. So figuring while I'm already down there, I might as well just do that at the same time, you know. Speaking of throttle, look at this thingy right here. Yeah. Guess what? Amazon. You probably seen it pop up on Amazon. Ryanstar throttle bracket. Pretty simple throttle bracket, guys. I recommend using a better bolt that actually goes all the way through. That's the only thing that I could find wrong with it. I only got one of the springs on it because I like a throttle, but it works pretty dang good. Bolt down. Speaking of which, we got this sitting on a 1/2-inch spacer. I just wanted a little extra, you know. So, guys, we're coming together. We're looking good. All we need now is some freaking headers. I probably robbed the manifolds back off that and put on this again temporarily, because that's what I used to fire it before. But we're pretty much kind of done shebanged all of that. Looks pretty dang good. Now there is one part that I'm waiting on, and to be 100% honest with you, this video is kind of rolling behind because of that. So I do apologize, but it's part of it. So I'm gonna bring you guys right back. That may be a day from now, maybe 2 days from now. It'll seem like a moment for you, but I'm gonna bring you back when that part comes in. And that's gonna kind of tie this whole shebang together, and we get this car back on the ground. Look, gang, I know it's been like 2 weeks since I got you guys a video. I apologize, okay? Life, things happen. Anyway, check out this shirt. Got a whale with a welding hood. It says TKs, and it says nice whales. Get it? Because when I say weld, like you're welding something, I'm saying weld. I can't English, so yeah, prototype shirt, guys. Let me know down in the comment section down below what you think. I think it's pretty cool. Yep. Anyway, so that part came in. I went ahead and I put it on the car because I didn't want to. Guys, if you haven't noticed in these past couple videos, I have been like losing light power, and I have to replace all these lights, and at some point I will, but I hate taking you guys up underneath cars with me because the lighting situation is always funky. But remember, I don't know if I made a video on this, but I had got like one of those fancy G-Force Crossmembers for the Monte Carlo. Well, I got one for the Trans Am, and now we officially do not have a jack or a jack stand holding the transmission up. Everything's mounted fine and dandy. So I had that come in. I had got some classic industry bolts. I got my power steering hooked up. All these lines, these are factory lines. On the back side of this truck pump, ICT billet sells like this little power steering conversion thingamabobble that threads into the back of the pump. That way you can use your factory lines. Now, the combination of everything, like the length and all that stuff, is going to be kind of up to your imagination. However you can get it to work. This works for me. It's out the way. Everything cleared. It looks great. Now, let's talk about some more stuff that I did off camera. I pre-wired all this. Yep. It's pretty much the end of the video, guys. I will say this though, for a little while until I get caught back up in everything, I'm gonna try to release a video every other week, because next week we're going to the good old Oklahoma on a family vacation. As you guys know, once a year, me and my family, we go on a cruise or we go somewhere out and about and just completely just put everything, all the work, we just leave it on the counter. And this year, we decided to go to Oklahoma. We're going to Broken Bow. So, that should be interesting. But, I'm going to try to get you guys a video out every other week until I get caught up with everything. So, if you haven't noticed, if this video hasn't given it away yet, we're going to be getting back on the 77. The 77 project is the closest one to technically being done. So we're going to go ahead and speed run this project real quick. A good friend of mine, he's a viewer of the channel as well, has some parts, well, part car that I have to go purchase. So we'll probably be doing all that stuff once we come back from Broken Bow. And that should help us throw everything else back together. Now, we did take a trip up into Arkansas, and I went to Arkansas and I picked up some parts. So we have the Trans Am back there on that. It's close to the color. I'm gonna have to do some scuffing and stuff. We also got another deck lid that came with it. This deck lid is in a lot better shape than the one that I got on the car. That one I had to put body work into. This one's a lot more straighter. So, and the color matches. This one's black up underneath. When I go pop the trunk to that one, it's blue. So there's that. That's just less work for me to do. Anywho, to kick this video off, guys, oh, see, all sorts of little things been popped up. I put the little box back on. I got all my wires tucked inside that box, guys. It's pretty trick, actually. It's up in there. You can't see any of it, but it's there. Now, as I was saying, to leave you guys on a little treat, we're going to discuss the wiring of this 6014 box one more time. I've discussed this on the channel before, but for starters or for beginners, or if you haven't watched that video, we're going to go through that wiring diagram one more time. That way you can make sure that your LS fires up. All right, so boom. On this 6014 box, okay, you're going to have a gray wire, a blue wire, and a pink wire, okay? Let me bring you in so we're all on the same page. You're going to have a gray wire, a blue, and a pink wire, okay? That gray wire is your tack, okay? The blue and the pink is for two-step and retard, okay? You do not need those three to fire. Don't need it. If you want to run your tack to something, run your tack to that gray wire. Let bygones be bygones, okay? Also, you have a red and a black wire, okay? The red and the black wire is self-explanatory, all right? Black goes straight to the battery, negative post. I recommend the red wire. It's supposed to go to the battery positive post, okay? But here's what I recommend, okay? That wire needs to go to a relay, preferably a good relay, and you need to have it powered by key switch, okay? That relay or that wire tells that box to turn on, turn off. You see what I'm saying? So to give you an example, if you can take that wire and wire it directly to a switch off your fuse blocks, okay? That'll work, okay? I don't recommend it, but it'll work. You always want to, like, when you're adding stuff to a system that didn't have stuff like that, you always want to make sure that you're getting clean power and everything's on its own little separate line. That way you can diagnose it if anything ever happens. So take that red wire, run it to a relay, and you want to run the hot from that relay like you would do any other relay to a switch, 12-volt signal, perfectly fine. Make sure it's clean. Okay, a lot of people like to tie stuff together. Do not tie that together with anything. That is the brains of your LS carb swap. Do not tie that to some bullshit. Okay, I know we're getting past the PG stuff, but I'm just being real. I read a lot of comments, and a lot of people have issues with these boxes. I never understood why. I mean, it makes sense. Look at it like this. When you got an old school CDI ignition box, you don't run that hot wire straight to that battery. And you don't run it to the coil, the hot side of the coil. Just like you don't run the choke wire to the hot side of the coil. You don't do that. Stop. You're causing problems. Don't do that. So, one more time. Gray wire to tack wire, okay? We accomplished that. Pink and blue. That is your two-step and your retard, okay? That's for nitrous stuff, or if you want to play with two-step, boost, any of those things, okay? We're not playing with any of that right now, so none of that stuff gets used. You have your hot wire and your ground wire. Your ground wire goes straight to the battery, negative side. Hot wire that to a relay, and then in return, wire it to a 12-volt switch key, okay? Problem solved. That is it. Everything else on this harness that comes out this bulkhead is self-explanatory. Like your coil hookups, you probably can't see them on mine because I have them routed behind the intake back here. But look at this. You may not read that. That says passenger, okay? That says driver. Everything's labeled. You got your crank sensor, your cam sensor, even your coolant temp sensor. All of that stuff, and I mean all of it, is labeled, okay? It's self-explanatory. Once you wire all that stuff up, you do your normal wiring, like with our Firebird here, or Trans Am, or Formula, or whatever you want to call it today. You got your bulkhead coming up out the firewall, all right? So, this one right here, this wire originally went to the alternator. I got it ran down here for the time being, but that pretty much goes to the back side of your alternator, right there, okay? Okay. And then that goes to your battery post. we're just gonna skip that, run it straight to the battery just for demonstration purposes because it needs to get hot. You got your typical purple wire on the GMs that go all the way down to the S terminal on your starter. Okay, you run that down there, and then you run you a big wire, preferably 0 gauge. Some people get away with 2 gauge. I'll tell it to you like this. If you got your battery up front, I recommend 2 gauge, okay? You don't have to, if you're gonna buy 0 gauge, I'm not gonna fault you for buying 0 gauge. But if you got your battery routed to your trunk, or somewhere where it has some distance to it, just remember you have to go up in gauge size as you go further back, okay? Electricity, well, power, volt, whatever you want to call it. The farther it goes, the weaker it goes, okay? So do yourself a favor. If you got it in the back, go with 0 gauge. Do not buy that cheap crap you see online. If you want really good gauge wire and you don't mind spending a little money to know it's good, go buy welding cables. They sell welding cables, red, black, however you want to do it, 100% copper. The stuff that those folks like. Yes, you know what I'm talking about? Yeah, that's some good stuff. If not, you can just go to your local hardware store, pick up some little cables. It'll work, I promise you. And if you do all of that, and you make sure all your other little ducks are checked off, you'll get something kind of like this. Whee! So, what do you think about that? How about that? If you made it to this part of the video, guys, I really appreciate you sticking around, dealing with me, and everything in between. We got a lot accomplished. We got a vroom. Oh, I was gonna do it in another video, but since I just went ahead and I felt like, you know, this video's taking forever as it was, I went ahead and fired it up. So you do know that those coil extensions, they do work. So read your instructions. If you don't got none, source them. Recommend the video to a guy who by chance bought these. But I'm yammering at this point, guys. It sounds really good. I know the Hawk 2 camshaft is in it. You really can't tell this cam. I mean, you can, you can't. These manifolds don't really do it justice. This video really don't do it justice because you can't really hear the bite. But these are temporary. We'll just run regular old down pipes on them. Kind of run them about halfway, leave it alone. And then we're really going to get into the exhaust stuff when we get to the turbo aspect of this. But I'm procrastinating. I love you guys. Drink plenty of water. It's been super duper hot. Oh, cool thing. I have a Facebook page. So if you go to Facebook and you type TK Speed Shop, that's me. I pop up. You should see a picture of my face, like half my face or something like that. It looks like my picture that I use on YouTube. How about that? Yeah. Made a little community thing. I have a community tab on my YouTube page so you guys can comment on that and we can discuss some things or whatever. I'm new to the social media game when it comes to posting and uploading. I've tried my hand in Instagram, and it's X now, isn't it? Yeah, X. We're just gonna go start bare bones, simple. Go to Facebook. I'll drop pictures of stuff that I'm working on or things that I'm going on, and we can just conversate and communicate. And if all that stuff goes well, then I'll try to create a page to where we can just all post random stuff, what we're working on and what we're doing, and take it from there. But again, I love you guys. I appreciate all the love and support, and I'll see you in the next video. I'm kind of excited to get you on the ground and get you going. We got brakes, drive shaft, doors, core support, radiator, so much.